Hey guys, MWUSA Season 5, Episode 142. So, Episode 141 was Coach's Corner, Episode 12. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Glad to hear more from Coach and some of the things that he goes through and some of the things that he experiences. And it's good to have different perspectives and also, information about different parts of the country and how things are going and all that stuff. So, I appreciate you, Coach, and thanks for episode 12. Today is Saturday. It's Saturday night, and I'm just heading to the casino for a quick trip here. Going to look around, see if I can find any plays. Then we're going to head home. Tomorrow we are going to go, as always, on a long Sunday trip, and we're going to start getting more blackjack in, and we're going to worry less about being tracked and just try to make the most of it. Go back to what we used to do, which is a lot more blackjack. And once they say see you later, then we go to the next casino. And when they say see you later, we'll go to the next one. So having my ability to make money go down over and over again and just sitting by and just letting it happen, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and play the blackjack. And if they decide they don't want me anymore, then so be it, and we'll move on. So it's not like these guys are like that important. Overall, I have made money from them over the last 6 years. So if it doesn't last that much longer, hey, that was a good relationship, as Coach would say, and we'll move on to something else. So right now, I'm heading to this casino. 79 degrees outside. It's 10 p.m. and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. Just got back to the car, and it was pretty busy in there, but not a lot of good stuff. They were packed in there like sardines, but no plays really to be found. Looked and couldn't find much, and finally found something to play, just something, and ended up doing okay. Actually, hitting in just a couple spins, and ended up leaving ahead $112. So plus $112 on a minimum spin, so got lucky there. Other than that, man, it's very busy. I saw a security guard who used to be a slot tech and now became a security guard. Said hello. Not really much else happening. I didn't see anyone checking anything in there, but I did see where people had marked machines where they were there probably within 2 minutes. I just didn't see who they were, or they were people that I didn't know, so I didn't recognize. I didn't see them actually checking it, and I didn't recognize anyone. So, unfortunately, not a lot there, but money is money, so we'll take it. And we're going to head back home right now. Not exactly around the corner, but we'll take what we can get. And, I was listening to the episode 12, Coach's Corner, and, last year I think I made about twice as much as Coach, and this year he's ahead of me. And a month ago, 2 months ago, he was way, way, way down, and all of a sudden he's having his best year. So it can happen at any time. But I was thinking, $100, if $100 a day is $3,000 a month. 300 a day, 9,000 a month. I mean, it adds up quick, but the hard part is not having those down days. And when you're playing table games, you're going to have those big down days, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000 sometimes. And if you want to make money every way you possibly can, you're going to end up playing tables. So, unfortunately, we're going to have the ups and downs, but anything that is positive, and we have to just take it and be happy about it and move on. So that's all we could do there. So we'll accept it, and we'll be happy about it, and we'll move on. So right now, we're going to head home, and next time you hear from me, it will be Sunday afternoon. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. It is Sunday afternoon. It's actually a little bit early, 2 o'clock, and we are just leaving home and heading out for the day. Hopefully we have a good day. I'd love to make at least $1,000 today. It would really help out, help move things in the right direction. And we have our trip coming up in 10 days. So 10 days away from our trip, and we are taking no time off work. It's going to be a very interesting experiment. It's also the week that I'm on call, that technically I'm not supposed to be more than 50 miles away from the office. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with that. Today, we got about a 4-hour drive, pretty normal for us these days, one way. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to get fuel on the way out. I'll probably get fuel on the way home. Should be plenty of gas. I could probably, well, I can't make it all the way back, but I'll make it part of the way back. We'll get fuel that should last us for Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be on another long trip Wednesday. Right now, I'm still experimenting with some online stuff. Not very excited about it. It's kind of boring. It's a very slow way to make money, but it does work, and I do need to give it another try. You know, it's just not one of my favorite ways to do it, but it does work. So I'm going to give it another month and see how it goes, and really try to hit it every single day and see if we can make 7,000 or more in the next month. That would be amazing. Even 5. I think 5 would be a good goal, working on it every day and see if that works. Today it's 80 degrees outside, light breeze, sunny day, few clouds, very pleasant summer day, even though, is it summer yet? I think it is, right? June, it was, yeah. Is it June 22nd or 21st that summer starts? So are we technically still in the spring? I think so. But it's a nice summer-like day, and we are just heading out for the day. I have a little bit of a headache, but overall feeling pretty good. Well rested, felt a lot better this morning. But, you know, a lot of stuff still going on in life, and we'll deal with it one at a time. I do have to, in the next day or two, call my insurance company because they're threatening to cancel my, I'm assuming, auto insurance for non-payment, even though it's an automatic payment. So I have to check to see what the deal is with that and get that paid if it's behind, which it should not be behind, but I'll have to do that in the next couple days. Also planning our Vegas trip. It's not 100% sure, but most likely will be around July 15th to the 20th. Probably take a couple sick days for that trip, and that way we can focus on really making some money. So maybe we'll do the 16th to the 20th and use the 15th as a day in the office. So I'm considering it. Maybe we work on Wednesday the 15th, and then Thursday we take like 2 hours sick time. We use that for flying, and then yeah, that might work. So I'll think about it, and then I do want to coordinate with my friend. I think he'll be there for 2 weeks, so we'll catch him in that time. We are, again, flying into Los Angeles, renting a car, and then driving to Vegas. So I guess maybe I'll have to do Wednesday to Sunday for that trip. So we'll see. Now, I don't really have vacation days left. I do have Thanksgiving and Christmas already lined up as vacation days. I have my cruise as a vacation trip. I think I only have like 12 more hours of vacation time for the year. So I have to be very careful how I do things. So I can use some sick time, but if sick time doesn't make sense, I'll have to use vacation time. So as far as sick time, I think I have like, I forget the number, it's a big number, like 180 hours or something, or 200 hours of sick time right now. So plenty of that, but doesn't make sense to be using it all the time. I'm not really sure. Anyway, heading out for the day, and I'll come back and update you soon. Well, heck, you hear that? Can you hear that? A little bit of a rainstorm. Hopefully it stops soon. Usually when it's that heavy, it doesn't last very long. I'm only doing like 40 now, slowing down even more. But I made a little mistake, a little boo-boo here. I'm an hour into my trip, which is funny because the skies were clear when I left home. But I'm about an hour into my trip, and I realized I didn't bring any money. I only have like $2,500 in my pocket. So I called a friend of mine at the city I'm going to, and he's gonna give me some money to play with, just in case I need it. Hopefully I don't even need it, and then I'll just give it back to him tonight. And then worst case, if I need to, I'll sell it to him. I just don't want to have to pay any fees. And really, I'd rather not sell it to him. I'd rather just give him cash. So I do have a safe deposit box in this area, but it's Sunday, so I can't even get to it even if I wanted to. So unfortunately, yeah, right now, so it's getting a little bit better here. Still raining pretty darn hard. Everyone's got their hazard lights on and stuff, but he's going to call me back, and we're going to meet in about 3.5 hours and get the cash, and then I can just give it back to him next time I see him, or give it to somebody that he knows in the casino tonight when I'm done. So yeah, if I lose like 3,000 or 4,000, I'll just give him what's in my pocket plus go to the ATM. But anything other than that, I should be fine. So hopefully it's a positive day. I'm expecting it to be. So we'll see what happens. So right now, I'm going to continue on here with this bad weather, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, it's still raining, and it's still kind of hard, but I'm doing like 5 right now, because there's a truck that fell over. This is the same area, and now, what is going on? This is the same area, if you'll recall, that I had all those trucks where it was really windy and they'd all fallen over. There's one right there, and there was another one further up that looked like it was having some issues. So it's not that windy. I think they probably just drove off the road and tipped over because it was raining so hard. But anyway, yeah, hopefully our trip is safe. I'll be back. Alright guys, sorry I didn't let you know I did get here. Been here for about 5 minutes. Found a play right away, $2 a spin. Hit it on the first spin, only paid $9. So that's where we are right now. Walking around looking to see what's available, and I'll come back and update you soon, but we made it. Alright guys, so I'm back. So I haven't even finished my first lap, and I get to the high limit area, and there's a guy sitting there with $5 in a machine and a great play. Like EV on that is like $2,000 or something like that. And he's just sitting there, and I walked around and I came back, and he's still sitting there not playing it, and I said, you know, are you going to play that? He had $5 in the machine, it's $10 a spin. He's like, I'm waiting for someone. I said, okay. I said, if you need a partner, let me know. And he's like, well, my friend is not calling me back. I said, well, you know, if you want to go partners, we can go partners. And he said, yeah, he said that he had run out of money playing it. And I don't know if he actually even played it or not, but he may have just found it that way and then just sat down and just been trying to make money off it. But I didn't care because it was worth a lot to me. And I said, okay, well, I'll sit down, I'll play it, and let's work out what you want. He said, oh, just be fair. That's like the worst thing, you know, just be fair, make you guilty. But also, when you're meeting someone for the first time and you're getting to know them like that, it doesn't hurt to give them a little extra, so that when they see you again sometime and they have something, that they're going to come to you because they know you're not going to be cheap with them, that you're going to work out a good deal with them. Now, he knows I would never give him the same deal again because, you know, we're just getting to know each other and all that. In the future, we would do all of it up front, right? Let me see, hold on. Anyway, you know, in the future, we would just do everything up front. We would know how much each of us would get, how much we're involved for, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, one more. Yeah, I'm going to have to play this one here. So I'm going to sit at the machine and talk to you for a second before I play it. I don't see it like this very often here. Anyway, sat down, played it, hit it within, I don't know, 50 spins, not very much, maybe 75 spins. Was only down slightly when I hit it. And, okay, quick delay here. Someone just came up to me. I'll be back. Well, that turned out like garbage. So, comes up to me, he's like, I got this, you gotta see this, you gotta see this. I go over there, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. It's $6 a spin. So I said, how much do you want? Well, he says, I said, you want to split it? He said, I don't have any money. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I've been coming here for years. This is the first time that's happened, and it happened twice back to back. He's like, well, whatever you want is fine. I'm like, okay, fine, another one of these. So $6, I put in a total of $300, end up hitting for $12.50. Then played a little bit more on another one I found on the same machine, ended up losing on that one. So between the two, I lost about $360. And I had just finished the other play with the other guy. I had made $527, and I'd given him a piece of that, and now I lose $336, and it's like, man, it's like starting all over again or something. So I'm back to the play I was on before, and hopefully this one works out, because now I'm, you know, I don't have a big profit anymore. So yeah, that was I was all excited, and then within a minute it got taken away from me. So anyway, all right, let's play this one, and I'll come back and update you. All right, now we've been walking around for a little while, played that play, been looking for other ones, haven't found any other ones. At this point, we're back to right around even, so not very good. Started off good, and then that one play he gave me was just awful, and then the other one after that was awful. So overall, just over even. So moving on, hopefully find something else right now, but not very happy at this point. I'll be back. So I used to know a guy who's a millionaire, and I went to see him speak, and I worked for him, and he told this story. Long story short, this guy is broke. He was in Las Vegas. He lost all his money, and he was feeling sick because he had lost all his money, and he wanted to run to the bathroom to throw up, but these casinos were so greedy. They had put a toll on the toilet. You needed 25 cents for the toll to even go to the toilet. He didn't even have a quarter. So he went out and he's searching frantically for someone, begging him for a quarter, and some guy had pity on him and flicks him a quarter. He takes the quarter, he runs into the bathroom, goes to put it in the toilet to open up the door, and someone flushes and opens the door, and he was able to get in for free, and goes in and throws up, and he feels better, and he walks out depressed, and he sees a machine right outside the door, and walks up to that machine, puts a quarter in, and hits the jackpot. And and the guy had seen all this happen. I'd seen him get a quarter from somebody and then come back out and use the quarter and win. And he said, man, I bet you wish you knew who gave you that quarter. You'd go give him a percentage of that jackpot. And he said, no, but if I knew who opened up that door for me, I would give him a percentage of it. The whole point is, just because you have money doesn't mean that you're going to have, it's not just about having the money, it's about having the opportunity. And when the guy opened that door for him, opened the door to the opportunity and gave him the chance to win that jackpot, that's what's valuable, not just having money and throwing it around trying to win, even though that's what happened in that case. But it's just, it's just figuratively opening the door for opportunity that's important. So just now I found a machine. I was up, played a few more, and I was up like $11. And I see this machine. I sit down. It's a great play. 75 cents a spin. How bad can it go? I lose $60 on it. I'm upset. I'm checking the other denominations to see if there's anything else on there. And the right side of the screen is wet, so I can't push any of the numbers on the right side of the screen because it's got beer. It's all nasty and sticky and all that kind of stuff. And so when I finished that first play, I was upset, grumpy, and I was walking out. And then I'm like, I'm going to walk this way because it'll give me more opportunity to walk by machines in case there's a napkin somewhere. And then I can use that to wipe off the screen and be able to use it. So as soon as I turn the corner, I immediately see this napkin sitting there. So I grab the napkin, I go back to the other machine, and I sit down, and I find a borderline play, but a good one. And it's at $6 a spin. sit down. After a couple spins, I hit it. It pays me like $388, and just out of nowhere, all of a sudden, I'm back ahead. I'm like plus 267. So it's not just about having that one that you can see, it's having the opportunity. And the door was open for me, and luckily the door was that napkin that opened the door for me, and I was able to make the $388 or $389 on that machine. So anyway, little story there. I'll be back. All right, we are waiting for the shift change. In the meantime, we're going to go see if there's any poker available. Right now, again, the yo-yo continues. We're only up like 150, 140, something like that. So let's go see if there's poker available, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys. All right. I'm back. See what's over here. Nothing there. All right. So I ended up having a seat at the 1-3 no limit table while I waited for the shift change to happen. Played there for about an hour. I bought 500 in chips, so I only bought in for 200 to play. And it was actually, at first, it was such a quiet table, nobody really raising or anything like that. But then some younger guys came to the table, and they're raising, and it was actually a good time, good conversation, similar backgrounds, and we just had a decent time. And I was getting ready to leave. I was ahead like 140 or so, and I said, yeah, I think I'm going to leave. And the guy to my right, let's see, he was in the small blind, and he was 2 seats over, so I was first to act. But somebody had, straddled on the button, so he had to go first. And he said, well, you should go all in since it's your last hand. And I look down and I see pocket jacks, and I'm like, okay, I'll go all in. So he goes all in. 1 second. All right, sorry. There's actually found a play there, made like $15. But anyway, so he goes all in for like, I think it was 95 or 90, something like that. I look down, I've got pocket jacks, I go all in. And flop is good, turn is good, river, he gets a queen. And of course, he takes it, so I'm not going to get up. I'm just going to play a little bit longer. Next hand, I get jack 5. I'm in the big blind, flop 2 pair, and the guy pushes all in, and I end up winning that, and I double up. And then a few more hands, I forget exactly. I didn't double up completely, he had less than me, but a few more hands, ended up leaving ahead $210. So plus 210 there. Played for about an hour, like I said. 1 second. All right, sorry, so I had to play. Lost 30 cents or something. Anyway, I don't know where I was at, but anyway, ended up playing another lap and ended up leaving ahead $210. So that's all right. Add that to whatever 140 or whatever I made earlier. So we're ahead 3 something. Up slightly on some slots right now, and we're going to keep walking around. At this point, I'm going to start looking for a blackjack table, because about 15 minutes ago, both the dealers and the pit bosses should have gotten changed out. So I have an opportunity right now. Hopefully, we're going to see. Every once in a while, you get unlucky, and the pit's got somebody that you know in there, and you're like, dang it, I waited all this time for the shift change, and then it's still you. But we're going to take a look here. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. It is raining, and I am just leaving. Traffic is medium, not too bad, better than I expected it to be, and kind of go over some of the things that happened in there. Like you heard, started off with some crazy ups and downs on slots, up 300, down 200, down 300, up 200, back and forth and back and forth. And I ended my first slot session ahead 120.
There are police reported ahead.
I ended my first slot session ahead $124. So at that point, decided to play some poker. and ended up on a kind of boring table at first, but then some people changed around, and it ended up being a pretty exciting table, a good place to be, and until a bunch of people busted, but ended up doing pretty well on that table and was ahead $210. So that was pretty good. Walked back around looking for slots, found some plays, and ran into a friend of mine, and he asked me if I'd like to eat, and of course, what do you think I said? The answer is yes. And it was kind of a weird buffet thing that they had. They had rice with fish and beef, but it wasn't like regular, it was like beef with the bone in it, like small squares of it. It was kind of hard to eat. Tried to eat it with a knife, it didn't work. You just had to kind of pick it up and eat it. Had a little blondie brownie thing for dessert, nice water, and hung around to talk to this guy for a while. And this guy just doesn't really have a clue about how things work. He's having a problem with his phone. So this guy's got hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting around that he's not using. He's got an iPhone, I think he said 6. He said it was 10 years old, if that makes sense. iPhone 6. And he can't charge it very well because you have to keep moving the charger around because the charging port has gotten so loose. So I said, why don't you get a wireless charger? And he didn't know what that was. And I showed him on the slot machines how you can charge it wirelessly. And he kind of got it, but he wasn't really sure. I said, do you want me to order you one? He said, sure. I found something on Amazon. I ordered it for him, and I'll bring it to him next time I see him. But he still kind of really doesn't understand what the heck we're talking about and how you can charge wirelessly. So anyway, we had some dinner there. Then I went back to looking at slots again, and ended the second slot session ahead $85. Then finally, after looking and looking for about 4 hours, finally found an open blackjack table. I sit down, and it turns out the reason that it was open is because they're just opening it, and the shuffler wasn't done, and that took a few minutes. Waited for that, and then finally played on the table. Had some okay variants, and when it was time to leave, I ended up, and it was a low limit table. And actually, let me step back for a minute. Talk about the money situation. I couldn't find the guy that was supposed to have my money until later on, and then by that point I kind of given up on the high limit stuff, so I went with the lower limit stuff, and that's the table that I was playing there, and I ended up ahead $300 on that table. I don't know if I would have gotten any high limit play in because tables were pretty crowded, but at least I was able to get that in. Sorry, 357. Looks like we're up about 700, a little over 700 today. So at least that's good. Hold on 1 second. So anyway, as the night wore on, I started seeing more and more people that I knew. When I first got there, it was just me and a couple people, and soon it was everybody, and it was like a flock of people walking around. So yeah, I mean, it was an okay day. Would have liked to make another 200 or 300 more, would have been nice, but it's just the possibilities were dwindling, and there were only a few machines I couldn't get to again on my way out to check, and one of them, this lady had been on it for over an hour, and she wasn't getting up anytime soon. She was actually playing two machines next to each other, two different machines, and she'd pay attention to one for about 5 minutes, then the other one, then back and forth, and she's playing low limit, slow playing it, so it was taking forever. So I couldn't wait any longer for that. But I grabbed some food to eat on my way out, and I'm on the road right now. Did do some online stuff. Not really done with that yet, but that's looking like it's going to be pretty good. as the rain starts to get harder again. But let me get on the road a little bit here, and I'll come back. All right, guys, I am back. So, wanted to tell you, the guy that I had dinner with earlier, just topping off fuel, by the way, $3.20. It should be below $3 in this area this week, probably by Friday or at the latest next Sunday. For sure, it'll be below $3 in this area. Anyway, talked to this guy, and his friend had told me about a discussion this guy had with a host. Now let's go back and think about, this guy is the guy who got me the room, and if you remember, he got me a room at a casino that I'm banned from, and he insisted that I walk through the casino with him. Now, I've not been formally trespassed, but I've been told to leave, and they really, 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 really don't want me there. So we take a lap. I let him do all the gambling. We made like $12, if I remember right, that day, and we left. And on our way out, we see this host, and this host has a similar background to this guy. And the host shook his hand and talked to him and all this stuff, and we left. So he was back there 2 days ago, and the host bumped into him, and he said, "Hey, just want to let you know, that guy that you were walking around with, don't walk around with him anymore. He's going to get you banned." So obviously, even if they took their facial recognition stuff down, they still know when I'm there. So maybe they still have some stuff or whatever. But you know, with this face, I'm pretty memorable. Anyway, I thought that was interesting, and that kind of opened his eyes, because he hasn't been an AP for very long, and he thought that he could like make unlimited money forever, and nobody would ever say anything, and that this guy is really his friend, and all these casino people love him and care about him and want him to succeed and all that kind of stuff. So obviously he's getting a little bit of a rude awakening there. So let me think here. There was something else I wanted to go over with you. Man, I just lost it. Okay, well, let me go over this. So at home, I have a security system. It's an Arlo security system, okay? I bought the cameras a while back, and then I bought a doorbell, and then I upgraded the doorbell because the other one wasn't working right. I don't know what the deal was with it. So recently, the camera batteries died, and I charged them up, and I couldn't add them back into my network. Well, it turns out the cameras were created for like a 2.7 gigahertz older network, basically, and not a newer network like we have now. So in order to get the cameras hooked back up again, I have to, and I still may do it, I have to hook up an older router with a slower network, and then I'll be able to add them into everything, and it'll work fine. And I still might do that, just have it be a sub-network within the regular network. So, and then the camera, you know, I can communicate with people. I can go to my camera right now, push play, and I can see what's going on and all that. It's supposed to record, and the camera is always recorded, but they changed the way the Arlo does their system now. So now they want you to pay monthly for recording. And it used to be like your system would record up to 7 days. You could download a file if you wanted to, and it was fine. And that was good enough for me, because if anything happened, I would download the file. Like, I have a file of a fox walking by the front door. That's pretty cool. Other animals and stuff walking around. That's pretty cool. But now they want you to pay like $300 a year to keep your recordings. And I'm not going to do that. So, same with the doorbell. I can't just record who rang the doorbell and then they ran off or whatever, or they left a package and I didn't see who it was. So in order to fix that, I either have to pay. Now I have the older cameras, which I have to hook up to the old network, and I have to pay. Although I think the older cameras will still record on the old hub. But the doorbell will not record, so I won't have a record.
There's construction ahead.
Sorry about that. So I started doing some research as to alternatives for the camera system that I have. And I did all kinds of research and this and that, and finally came up with something. And it's actually part of TP-Link, which I've had their network stuff before. It's okay, it's cheap, and it works well. A lot of, like, when I used to set up computer systems and stuff for people, I would put in like an external network card with a USB, and then use that one to set up the drivers for the system so that the computer could connect to the network naturally with what it had in it. That's back when you had to install drivers. And that was TP-Link, and it would cost me like $5 for this wireless network card that worked beautifully every single time. Well, they make a camera system called Topo, and a doorbell. So with Arlo, I believe I paid like $199 or $299 for the doorbell, and then another $99 for the chime, which is the so you can hear that someone pushed the doorbell, the ding dong thing, So anyway, I guess that sounds funny. Anyway, this camera system, including the chime, is $59.99, and they have a 10% discount right now. And I guess in the fall is when they have their biggest sale, up to 60% off. So that's what I'm considering doing, is switching over to this Topo. The way this one works is you can put a memory card into the actual doorbell itself. You don't need the hub. And then you can even set it up so that if anybody runs off or rips off the doorbell, that it sets off an alarm. But on the other hand, you could get a base and put your memory stick in there, or your memory card in there, and record directly to that for your security system, as far as your doorbell and as far as your cameras. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. Getting the main hub, getting the doorbell, and then connecting it to that and recording. And then if you get wired doorbell or wired cameras, you can record 24 hours a day. If not, then it's a little bit more limiting, but it's not a big deal. And then as far as the cameras, you have a choice of solar cameras, plug-in like wired cameras, or battery-powered cameras. And I think I'm considering either the battery-powered or the solar. I haven't decided yet. But I put everything in my cart, and it was like $600 or so for everything, including free shipping, taxes, everything. So I'm considering doing that. I may wait a little while until they go on sale, that 60% off. For now, we can still use the doorbell without recording. We can still communicate with people and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I'm considering doing. If you guys have any experience with it, let me know. I know it's Chinese made, but I would be using a local storage, so it wouldn't be on the cloud. Although, anything's possible. Obviously, you can put any kind of malware you want in your own devices, but I kind of feel like that's the way that I want to go. So let me know if you have any experience with that. So anyway, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but because my doorbell at home rang, so that's why. Yeah, this guy was telling me that that's what his host told him, and then he also told me that he's been having some bad luck lately, and I'm like, you need to tighten up your numbers because you're playing so loose. And he's like, oh, we've been playing good plays, only good plays. Okie doke. So we'll see what happens with that, but he's got plenty of money. He was on a really good run when he was playing bad numbers, and now he's suffering for it. So anyway, just continuing on, stopped for fuel, and I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. Let's do some segments here. What did you eat today, MW? Let me think here. Wow. What did we have for lunch? My wife made, it was like a rice with meat, seasoned meat, and tzatziki on the side, like a Greek, yogurt stuff, and it was pretty good, actually. Everybody ate it and loved it. I'm going to give that at 10 on a scale of 2 through ace. And then this evening, I had that little bit of food with my friend. I would just give that like a 7 on a scale of 2 through ace. And then I did have some chicken and rice on the way home, and I'd give that probably an 8 on a scale of 2 through ace. And what did you tip today, MW? Today I tipped poker. I tipped probably $5, and blackjack I tipped $0. So about $5 for the day. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, I learned that my friend who thought that he could be an AP forever and never get backed off is starting to see that we indeed do get backed off, and he hasn't experienced it yet, but he has a lot to see. And he was never exposed to blackjack apprenticeship or all the support and people that we have. All he did is learn machines from other people and doesn't really understand where the numbers come from, what's good, what's bad, how to calculate, or any of that stuff. But he will be in for a rude awakening, I'm sure of it, really soon. So right now, just continuing our trip. It's a little past midnight, and we're just continuing our trip home. And I guess I can catch up with you guys tomorrow. Right now it's 62 degrees as I continue my trip home. No rain, dry roads, should be good. And I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow, or today, I guess, which will be Monday. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.